Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Don't Let It Stu. Today, we are going to bring on the person that actually gave me my first job in podcasting. I mean, you did. We have Pat Safford here, everyone. He does actually a lot of like fill-ins, don't you? Like you're always like, I always see a lot of clips of you with Teresa on her podcast.
Yeah, I'm kind of I do her podcast with her. So when she doesn't have a guest, I do it. And I mean, we have so much fun. She's awesome. And I've only known her for like a year, but being able to see her personality, not on Jersey, not on the show. It's like, she's so much fun. And they're such a cool family.
Yeah. Cause I always watch like the clips that you guys post on Hurrdat Media. And, I'm like, wait, like Pat does this? I'm like, I need to have him on as a guest. Like, this would be so fun. Take the pressure off. Well, trying to asking people.
And I think it's funny how you and I met, really, and it was kind of at BravoCon.
Yeah.
And I think you kind of remember how we met.
Yes, you were at like was it a booth or a stall or
a booth?
What was the product?
Yeah,
again, so remember it.
We do. We have a whole bunch of a lot of Bravo people do podcasts with us, and Malia White and Katie Flood from Winter House and Below Deck.
Yeah,
and then Teresa we had booths there, and we were selling merch and just kind of facilitating their meet and greets. And my wife knew who you were through,
Yeah,
you know who?
True Jeff Lewis Live. Yeah.
I didn't know. I don't want to get you sued or anything. Through Jeff Lewis Live, and she saw you there, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, that's Stu."
Yeah,
and I love my wife, but she doesn't like when she gets in situations like that. She doesn't react very well. So she saw you walk by, and she's like, "Stu," and you like, "Hey." And she didn't think for a second you would walk over to the table. We were sitting at Malia White's booth, just kind of chilling out, and you walked up. And she like completely clammed up, and I was there next to her, and our friend Angie was there, and Angie and I mean, I knew who you were, but I didn't have like, she thought she had questions. She wanted to find the dirt.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what to ask. And so we just sat there, and I'm like looking at her, and she didn't say anything. And you like felt so bad for you. It seemed so awkward because you're like,
I do remember going over, and I was like, hi. I was like, don't you have questions for me? Like,
she's like, no.
And I was like, oh, well, I'll see you later. Like, whatever. Yeah. It was funny. Yeah.
Yeah. Cause the name of the shirt, it was a Total Ship Show. And you're like, Total Ship Show. That's funny. And that was the name that was on the shirt.
Yeah.
And so then afterwards we gave her so much shit. Like she did made it
so funny.
And then, so then I paid to have you do a cameo for her.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's how we got connected. And I'm like, dude, you need a podcast. And to be honest, I had no idea it would be as good as it is now. Like you were.
Yeah. No, it's really awesome. Good. I mean, it kind of like, and it's so weird because, I remember you DM'd me and you're like, hey, have you ever thinking of doing a podcast? I think you'd be really good. My wife hears you, and, she thinks you're quite funny and stuff like that. I'm like, I said, it's so funny. I said, my friend of mine, Darren Kennedy, like we were having drinks one night, and he was like, you should do a podcast. I have a great title for you. And so he threw out the title. I'm like, yeah, I said, I'm not going to do that. I said, like, I'm dating somebody that has a radio show. I said, that's kind of fucking weird. Like, I'm not going to do a podcast, And so, so I let it go. Like, I let it go for about a year. And then when you reached out, I'm like, shit, it's kind of fallen on my lap. I'm like, I should kind of give it a go. I said, look, give it a go, see what happens and so forth. I just liked that your company just helps me along with everything. I come on here, I do my 30 minutes, whatever. You guys upload it and all that kind of stuff, write the descriptions and stuff for me. So it makes it a lot easier and manageable for me to do it.
We love doing that stuff. Because you don't have time in your life, and most people don't. People that are either on TV or they're talent of some kind, like they don't have time to do all the BS behind the scenes. And that's
I wouldn't have time to do it. No, there's no way.
And I love producing. I was in radio for 20 years and left to start a podcast production company because I love the production and the back side of it.
Like it is fun. I love working with you on the clips. Sometimes I'm like, let's make them kind of comedic, like the timing, cutting them and stuff like that. That part is kind of fun. Stewing this week with me is I just was actually at the grocery store this morning. Self-checkouts at the grocery store. Do you love them or hate them?
Love them.
You love them. Okay.
I love them, but I don't like that sometimes Walmart, and my wife's a savage. She won't stop. They stop to look at your receipt and check in your bag after you've self-checked. And my wife's like, that's bullshit. You don't want to check out my stuff, then you got to, I'm not stopping. So she'll walk right by. It makes me so uncomfortable.
They're like, you're stealing. It depends. Like if I have like 2 items, love the self-checkout. But if I have a basket, like I had a lot of shit this morning, like I have to do some food meal prep before I leave for New York tonight. And it's usually with all the vegetables. I feel like I have to do so much fucking work because you have to like type in like each thing. And I always feel like there's 16 people behind me. I'm rushing my ass off to try and get it done. And actually nobody's looking at me. Like no one gives a shit.
Right.
And nobody's really waiting behind me. But I always feel bad because I feel like it's for those people with a few items.
Right.
But I don't want to wait for these people with the massive baskets with the people just waiting there, and it's like, oh, they're scanning, they're having conversations. And so I didn't do it this morning. I waited in line for the person.
If I have more than like 10 or 12 things, I would wait in line. I'm like that.
I can't deal with that. Like, I just can't do with the too many scan things. And if it's like vegetables, you have to weigh them, and like it just takes too long.
Sometimes I don't know if I'm just a dick or what. I don't mean to be a dick, but like if I'm waiting in line and I just don't want to talk. Like I just want to get my bits through. I don't want somebody, like when somebody, for example, like go to Target, right? And they're scanning and they look at a shirt and like, oh, this is cute. I'm like, dude, it's like your store. You work here. Of course it's cute. Just scan it. Let's go.
It's literally like Kristen Wiig in SNL, like that whole scene.
Yeah, totally.
It really is. Or no, Trader Joe's is the best. What do you got yourself there? Like, what are you making tonight? I'm like, stop. I'm like, and it's usually like dog food. I'm like, I'm making dog food. Like, oh, look, aren't you a good dad? I'm like,
yeah.
I was like, always, yeah. You have a topic for me, and you were kind of being secretive before we started. What is it that you were talking with your wife or something?
Yeah, well, it's kind of what I got stewing, and I've been stewing on it for the last few weeks, actually for a long time. It's not like I want to become a chef, but I just randomly about a month ago said to my wife, I'm like, hey, would you think it was weird if I at 50 just started taking cooking lessons? Like I want like the base. So when I met my wife, this is, I equated to this. When I met my wife, I don't have very much style now, but I was like, it was awful. Like I had wore long gym shirts. It was terrible. With dress shoes, not good. So she's like, we're stripping you down. You're not doing any of this bullshit that you have now. You need a good pair of jeans, a nice brown belt, nice dress shoes, a couple of polos, and start you up. So I want that for like my cooking skills. I want to know what basic ingredients go with what if I have to look in my pantry, like I can make something other than a cheese sandwich.
Yeah.
Something interesting. So I that's kind of what I've been wanting to do. It's just a matter of finding the time.
I mean, I'll talk to you about it and like, let me know kind of what's in your area, or like send me the website so I can actually have a look at it and be like, okay, this one would actually be really good for you to do. Like,
I think Whole Foods used to have like weekly free classes for things. At least
they really?
They used to. Yeah.
I know like Sur La Table used to have them, Williams Sonoma sometimes, but it's hard to find cooking classes. But like usually the culinary schools in the areas would have like night classes where you go in for like 2 or 3 hours because you need about 3 hours in each class.
Yeah.
But I feel like a really good one to do would be like a pasta one, like how to make some cool pastas because that's so easy.
Right.
Or like doing like a soup class or a casseroles class or like stews and stuff like that. Because they kind of follow the same suit, like your carrot, celery, onion, aromatics and so forth, and it's like the same thing over and over again, and you become really, really good at it. But in the meantime, before you do that, just like pick one recipe and just master one recipe a week. That's it.
That's it. Okay.
Like shop one day, like shop on Monday, pick the recipe on Monday, go shopping on Tuesday, and make it on Wednesday, and just break it up. Okay, that's the exhausting part. It's when you try to do it all at once.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. That will help. So
yeah,
we have our in my house our culinary whatever taste is like a 12-year-old boy. Like we have cheese hot dogs. We have what do we have? I actually made those little mini pizza thingies. I think you showed on one of your stories or something once, like the little tortillas where you put
yes.
We have those a couple times a week. So good. Love it. But I need to up my game. I do.
I'm slurping through like the microphone here. Yeah.
No,
I mean, I'll say,
sorry.
I have to send you my book, The Quick 6 Fix. It's like easy, 6 ingredients, 6 minutes prep, 6 minutes cleanup. Is it
going to be used like your spices were that you sent me? Like,
oh my God, I sent him spices, and like I guess like I had them mixed up within like the sealed ones, and I literally sent him one that was open, like a rat had gone through it. It's so fucking embarrassing. Like this guy gives me like an opportunity for a podcast, and I send him like used spices.
Oh my God,
so embarrassing.
We used them, so they're no, great.
I have a ton more because Amazon sent all of since we're on this topic. So Amazon is like a devil, right? Like literally, I lost my credit card or whatever it was. I had this credit card with Amazon. Amazon is all automated. There's no people on the phone. You can't do anything. I have a guy that looks after it. I think he dropped the ball on it. He missed something or whatever. The card, obviously, I replaced it. I forgot to update it on the back end of the thing. They literally tried to charge, I think like $5, because you have like, they charge you like such a small fee to hold your product in their warehouses, right? it didn't go through. It just automated the whole system. They sent me all the fucking products
Oh,
to my
you're kidding
apartment.
me! Like over
No,
5.
no, I've literally like 600-700 pieces of like here in my apartment. Like I've it all like organized like on shelves and stuff. It's fine. So if anybody wants seasonings, go to chefstewart.com. I will send them out. I think I'm doing it's 2 for 1. So buy 2, get 1 free. The code Father's Day. I'm still using that code. And I will personally ship them out. I'm sorry, we're figuring out the Amazon thing. I am going to be moving to a new company that's going to like it's going to be better. But in the meantime, until we figure that out, yes, they're still available. I have them.
Like on Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory, you need to send out
It's
a couple of
literally,
used ones, so whoever finds the used ones
oh my
gets some
God.
free merch.
Yes. Yes. And I have a competition. Go to my Instagram, Chef Stuart O'Keefe. It ends in like 2 days. It's on there. I'm sending out like 5 spices and the cookbook and stuff
So
together.
are you going to have to send it all back to Amazon when you get that all squared?
No, I'm going to get rid of all this stuff and then we're going to start fresh then with this new company.
Okay.
And they're going to run it for me then. And that'll never, ever happen again. And then we're just going to do like kind of like a split. I'm almost like selling the brand to this new company and they're running it and I'm going to promote their stuff. And it's a better option for me.
Yeah, it
Because
seems like
it's
a
just
lot
the
less
other
stressful.
way. It was great starting it out and I, tested the product. It's successful. People like it. They keep rebuying it. So it's great. Yeah. So that's what's happening with that because people are DMing me going like, is it not on Amazon anymore? And I'm like, that's what happened.
I had a fraud hit on my checking account last week and had to get my card shut off. And
Yeah.
so then you start realizing of all the accounts and shit that your card is attached to, and you get all these
I hate it.
declined payments. Like, oh shit, I forgot Netflix, it's Hulu, it's all these little tiny things you forget about. Pain in the ass.
I lost my wallet last week. I can't even talk about it. Like I'm just unbelievable.
You never found it?
Apparently it's at the dog park somewhere.
Oh.
At 6:42 a.m. last Thursday, that was the last ping on my tile, and it never pinged again. And it was $600 in it.
Oh,
so that's the fucking worst. I don't care about the wallet or the cards. It's like the cash.
Cash, that sucks.
I could have used that for New York City this week.
Right.
God. Anyway, going on to New York, but close enough. We have New Jersey.
Do you carry cash with you a lot? I don't ever
No,
have cash.
never.
That's
never.
What are the odds?
I brought it to Ireland with me where I was going to change it into euro and use it because cash is used everywhere in Dublin and stuff. And I just thought it'd be easy, and I never got around to changing it. So it came back with me here and I just never took it out of my wallet. But I never have cash. No, it's the worst. What do you think of Jersey this season? There's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of like storylines, but I will say this. If I have to watch one more bloody fashion show on it, it's like Bougie Kids. Now it's Melissa's. What's next?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's always like fashion shows. It really is.
Yeah, no, I know. I mean, it's intense and seeing it from a different side now, knowing Teresa and her side. It's pretty crazy. I guess the next few episodes are going to be wild.
Yeah, I stayed with Paulie and Dolores a few weeks ago, and I don't like to ask them about it. Like when I'm with them, it's just like I want to enjoy it. I don't want to be like, "Hey, give me the gossip" and stuff like that. The only thing I'll say is, remember Dolores said the last episode's amazing. She said it's fucking crazy.
That's what I've heard too.
She's going to enjoy it, and I'm like, that's all I need to know. I don't want to know anything else, like because I like to see it play out on camera. If I know everything, like what's the point then? You know?
No, I agree. I'm the same way. Teresa said a few things about the last episode, but I want to see how it plays out. But I guess it's wild.
It's like, I think, and then that kind of gives a reason why there's going to be no kind of reunion, but they'll kind of do a semi kind of reunion.
Yeah. And I was on last week's episode. The one that was just
because they did the first live podcast event.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they did, because now she has her own podcast, Turning the Tables.
Yeah,
which is great. But they still showed a little bit of that footage, and I made it on. It was supposed to be on like the 7th, and then they skipped that week. So I thought, well, that makes sense. They're not going to air it, so they're not going to have an episode that week. And then Beth and I were just sitting there watching it on Sunday, and all of a sudden
it was on there.
Yeah.
You just never know because they don't share the episodes.
Right.
I mean, I think the girls get them like 2 or 3 days beforehand or something like that. But
not very far up.
What do you think is going to happen with Daniel and Jen? Like they're going to kill each other, right? It's just like,
I think so.
They really are. I swear to God.
I think so. Well, there was a lot of stuff that they didn't show that happened backstage the night of the live event. That involved Danielle. Like there was a bigger fight, like the argument they showed in Teresa's dressing room. I mean, that thing lasted in real life 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and it was pretty loud and
just so good. It's just so real, and they just go at it. I'm so annoyed. I haven't watched it all the way through for the last 16, 17 seasons. I know what they're on now. but I took a break and then came back.
What I really have enjoyed, like, getting to know over the last couple of years, 3 or 4 years ago, I got kind of friends with some people from Below Deck and started learning about that process and producing their podcast, and learning that their show is not, it's not really produced. They shoot for 24 hours a day for 6 weeks, and then they go back afterwards and piece it together. So Housewives are a little different. They put them in situations that hopefully they get drama and they
have a semi storyline to kind of follow. And I get it, because they don't have 24/7.
Right. But
like, you get the girls for 2 or 3 hours, and the girls are probably annoyed at that at most.
And they all get glammed up and whatever.
Yeah.
But to know how much of the stuff that you see on the show is real. Like, it's not fake drama. And now we have Vicky Gunvalson's on the network. Stories about OC. It's real stuff. Like,
I love Vicky. She's always been really sweet to me every time I met her. She's awesome. I like her.
Yeah, she's great. So I don't know. Yeah, they're going to end up killing each other. Back to your original question.
I think that's what the fight is at the very end as well. I think it's about those two, but we'll see. Andy Cohen was saying there might be a shakeup. I don't think it needs it.
I don't think there's any way they can go on without Teresa. I mean, I think Teresa.
True.
I think she's people love her or hate her, whatever. I don't think they could go on without her. I could see a shakeup where her and a couple of other ones stay. They bring on some new ones, maybe. But I don't. I could see it going on. It's just so hard to have her and Melissa not shooting together and not having that.
I just don't understand. I always say this, like, and you could even like talk about Vanderpump as well. Like that last scene, it was just like, can you just shoot together? I know you hate each other, but like, for everybody else.
Yeah.
Can you do it for them? I get it. Like, if you just really don't like a person, but sometimes it's not your show. It's like, it's entertainment. And like, I don't know. I'm very tied between that.
I think they would actually kill each other if they got in a room and they got John at each other. I think that
there has to be one mediator that could just kind of like, I don't know, because I feel like Melissa's, or like Teresa's brother, like I feel like he's such a great character in it too.
Yeah, they're all great characters, and I love watching their people get fired up. I mean, that's the reason why we watch some of these shows, is to watch them go from 0 to 60 and just get fired up and scream at each other. And I don't know,
because I always like watch for Paulie, and I'm like, does the Irish temper come out with him? Like, he's been like once or twice where it's kind of like, I've seen his face kind of go red. I'm like, oh shit, here it comes. Yeah, it's kind of awesome. But yeah, he's so new. He's new to the game, but like, he's enjoying it. He's having fun.
Would you ever do a reality show like that? I know you almost did Queer Eye.
I almost did Queer Eye, but I did one back in the day. I mean, if anybody can pull it up, it was my first TV show. It was called Private Chefs of Beverly Hills on Food Network.
Oh, okay.
And it was the first type of reality show, kind of docu-soap kind of thing that they ever did. We did 2 seasons. I think, I don't know, like, what was it, like 8 episodes, like 16 episodes. It's fun to watch. And it's dramatic. And there's one episode where I feel like I'm going to lose my mind, because it's like early days reality show, and they just keep pushing you. They don't give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
And like, there were some scenes where like they would literally take, if I had an ingredient, like we'll just say like steak or something, they would literally take it out of the fridge and be like, okay, just say you forgot your steak. Now figure it out. I'm like, well, okay, if I was to figure it out, I would go to the fucking store and buy more and come back. Right. They're like, well, that's not an option. So you find something else to do. I'm like, I need to go to the restroom before I kill myself, because I need to figure this out. And this is like me at the beginning, like figuring this out. Like, this is like episode 3, season 1 or something like that. And it's like, it's so stressful.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
No, it was crazy. It was crazy. I mean, if you can pull that up, I don't know if anybody can find that or something, but it actually is really good and entertaining.
I'll look for it and try to find it and I'll put a link in the show notes if I can find it.
Yeah. I think maybe Amazon has it. I have no idea.
What's it called?
Private Chefs of Beverly Hills.
Okay.
That's where I got my start in TV.
I just don't know. I'm writing this down. I don't know, like, trusting that you're going to get a good edit that doesn't show you in a light that is completely opposite of what your personality is. Yeah. That would be really hard for me to give up that much control over the way people see me.
Now, what they did say, the producers were like, look, just go along with it. We have your back. I'm like, fuck that. You know, you don't. And then I was like, they're like, we actually are not allowed show you guys in a really bad light.
Oh, okay. Well, that's nice.
Like, we're going to have you, like, there's going to be the downfall, there's going to be the struggle, and then you're going to, like, you know, be victorious at the end. And we're always going to show that at the very end. I'm like, okay, that's cool. I'm like, so, no, and they didn't tell me that until, like, I think season 2.
Of course they didn't.
No. Yeah.
But if you had done something kind of unhinged or whatever, went off the rails, then if you did it, then they would show it. They just wouldn't edit you to look bad, right?
Yeah. They said it's never going to be like Bravo. They're like,
Okay.
it's not going to be like that, like intense. And I'm like, okay, that's all right then. Cause I was like, starting out from TV, I was like, I don't want to look like a total asshole
Mm-hmm.
and
Right.
like a shit chef or whatever,
Yeah,
whatever.
for sure.
I mean, you've been seeing the news that came up yesterday. I saw it all over Instagram. But this Ariana Madix thing and like Tom Sandoval. So first of all, like Ariana along with Tom Maddox were sued by Rachel.
Mm-hmm.
That got thrown out.
Right.
Right. Okay. I can't keep up
At
with
least I
it.
think it got thrown out. I haven't heard
It did. Yeah. It was the
dismissed.
Leviss lawyers with their motion to dismiss it was denied. Something got thrown out recently. God, I thought I had the right notes here, but I guess I don't. It did. Something got dismissed. But now something got dismissed. I'm so stupid. But now Tom Sandoval has filed a lawsuit against Ariana for allegedly accessing and distributing explicit videos of Rachel Leviss without consent. Now, hold on. I remember when this happened. Wasn't like Tom at a show and Ariana was there watching him and she had Tom's phone and I thought the phone fell on the ground and she saw the video of Rachel on Tom's phone. And that's how she discovered it, I thought.
Either that, or that was that how she discovered the affair. Maybe she didn't know about the nude video. That's how she's discovered the affair, I thought.
So explicit video. So there's more than one then. I thought it was a FaceTime that he recorded.
That's what I thought too. Yeah. And it's confusing because it's getting all it's just getting more and more confusing because all these lawsuits and accusations, and I don't even remember how this whole thing was discovered. I think the phone, like there was a message on the phone that came through that she saw when Tom was on stage.
Yeah, but then like it just sounds like now that like he's saying that she broke into his phone.
Yeah.
And shared some of those videos.
It sounds like he has an attorney that's trying to do something, she's trying to do something else over here. And he's like, well, if you're going to do this, I'm going to do this and try to go after you this way just to get everything dismissed. Or maybe he's just being an asshole and just wants to have her.
On her. Like, I mean, he cheated on her with her. Like, just leave her alone. Like, let it go. It's like, I'm telling you, it's that narcissism. They can't just let it go. They can't let it go. They have to keep going and going and going. I'm telling you. This weekend, I have a lot going on this weekend. Just, I'm going to, Dolores just called me a few minutes ago. She's like, when are you coming in? I'm like, tomorrow. She's like, okay, Paulie's invited 12 people over. So we're having a party for 12. I'm like, okay. Because I said I was going to come over, stay with them Thursday night, cook a dinner. She's like, now it's like turned into like 15 people. I'm like, oh, I'm catering. Great. She's like, this guy, I swear. I'm like, she's so funny. I love her.
What are you going to make?
We're just going to do kind of like a steakhouse dinner. She's like, let's keep it easy. And I'm like, look, we'll do steaks. Everyone will love it. I'll do like a few sides. We'll do a charcuterie thing, make some drinks. It's just going to be casual, like family style, like not plated sit-down service.
How did you meet them?
I met them at BravoCon. I was at BravoCon, the first BravoCon in New York City, and I was selling the cookbook with Amy Phillips. Amy Phillips got asked to open the show. Do you know, they were doing a lot of like lives, like Andy Cohen lives there, like on the main stage, the big stage. And so me, Brock, and Paulie were at the bar. I was watching Amy on stage, like open up her comedy act. And just the three of us are like just standing there. And I was like, oh, I said, you know, I know you're Irish, like my name is Stuart, I'm Irish too, this, that, and the other. And then Brock was there, Australian. So the three of us hung out for the whole night.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. And then Amy came to me. She brought me around to like the different rooms or VIP rooms or whatever it was. Then Paulie was there with Dolores. I met Dolores through that. And we were and then we swapped phone numbers. And so I stayed in contact with them. And
they seem really nice. And Brock,
they're really great,
right?
I love Brock so much.
So
he's so nice.
Her booth was a couple booths down from Teresa's at BravoCon this past year. And he was a very nice guy.
He's the sweetest guy ever. Like just the nicest. And like I ran into him once or twice in the street and like he'll stop me and like chat or like I'll DM him and stuff. Like always sweet. And so like
very, very personable. Very, very personal. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And very nice to fans when they would come up and want to talk to him. And I mean, seemed like a very
really appreciative. Then I head to Jill's on Friday night for some party. I don't know what it is. And then her charity luncheon is on Saturday. I went to this last year. It was a lot of fun, a lot of housewives. I think Teresa's going this year.
Oh, really?
I think, yes. So I'll get to meet her. I'll say I know you, and hopefully we'll get a photograph or something like that. I'm like, hey, come on my podcast.
She totally will. Once the season's over, she can do that. So we'll make it happen. Yeah.
And it's all fun. We'll just have fun. I won't even talk about the series. But I am so stressed because I still don't know what I'm going to wear. And because last year it was so hot, I had to Photoshop all those photographs, all the sweat out of my armpit, down my chest. It was like 90% humidity.
Have you looked at what it's going to be, what the temp's going to be? I'll look.
I spoke to Jill yesterday. Jill said, look, it breaks by the weekend. She's like, it's going to be, I think the high is 80, which is good.
That's perfect.
So it could be like 75, and then, but the humidity is 72%.
Yeah. Right.
So I don't know what that brings it up. I don't trust her. So I feel like it's going to be really hot because she's going to be wearing a dress with flowers on it or something like that. And like, her she's not going to be wearing anything on top or whatever, like obviously covering herself. But
so Saturday
is not cooler for women.
83 feels like 96.
Fuck. See, there you go. So it's like, I wanted to wear like my light blue blazer with like a button-up shirt underneath it, white shorts, a belt, and like blue shoes.
Oh, wait, sorry, that was Sunday. Saturday's 83. 83 feels like 87. That's not as bad.
That's actually okay.
Yeah.
I think I can do that.
Yeah, that's not bad. So
you'll see photographs this weekend. I mean, I'll be posting all over the place. So that's me this weekend. I'm flying into New York tomorrow morning to start catering. Orange County, are you watching any of it?
Yes, watch the first. Yeah, well, it's the only episode out. Yeah, just watch the first one.
What do you think? I hope it seems like Shannon. Like, I really like that she apologized to Gina, took a new leaf. She went in there, I think, with the right attitude. She's like, I'm not going to fight it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just let them talk shit or whatever about my DUI or whatever it is, and I'm just going to like stand there and just kind of like head held high. And she was great. I hope she just keeps going.
Same. I know that Vicky is on this year a few episodes, and she's
great.
There just to protect Shannon because apparently it's like doesn't go well for her with the girls, and Tamara goes after her, and so it's going to be pretty intense. But according to kind of what Vicky's saying is that just over the last few months she's really been strong and really getting through it, and doing what she's supposed to be doing, and just trying to keep her head high, like you said.
Yeah, no, it's like I can't wait. So it's on Thursday. I'll watch it Thursday night.
Yeah,
and I won't. I'll be cooking.
Oh yes,
have it on the background. Oh my God, Pat, thank you so much for joining me today, filling in because I couldn't find a guest. But no, I'm just kidding. But thank you so much, everyone. And yes, go to Hurrdat Media on YouTube. All the videos are there, and you'll see a lot more of me on there with crossing over, I guess, over the next few months.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, yeah. Have a safe trip to New York.
I will.
All right, see you, buddy.
Bye.